So what I'm trying to tell you is that application of force normal to the surface. Whenever you apply force normal to the surface, then we use a term known as thrust. That means thrust, how do we define thrust? Thrust is a force which acts perpendicular to the surface. That means when we apply force to any object, then it may be applied in any direction and the effect of the force will be accordingly. But if we happen to apply force normal to the surface, then we will give it a special name as thrust. So thrust is nothing, simply force which is acting normal to the surface. Now, what do you think will be the unit of thrust? Well, I'm sure you must have given an answer. The unit for thrust is Newton, because thrust is what? Force. Thrust is nothing but force. So the unit would also be same as force, that is Newton. Now we come to certain examples. For example, observe this. What is it showing? You can even try it out if you want. What is it showing? It is showing a boy which is standing on a mattress. And in the second picture, I will say the same person is lying down on the mattress. Now what are you observing? You will observe that there is a depression in this mattress, whereas there isn't any noticeable depression in this case. So the person is the same. So obviously the force acting is the same in both cases, but there is still a difference. There is a difference that this is getting depressed and this is not getting depressed. So to account for this particular difference, we have another term which is known as pressure. So now we come to learn about another physical quantity which is pressure. Now, how do we define pressure? Pressure is thrust per unit area. That means pressure is dependent on two things, thrust and area. So I have pressure is equal to thrust upon area. From here you will find that when we calculate the force, then it has to be, if we calculate it with respect to area, then it is pressure. So in this particular thing, you will find that the area of application of force is different. Here, the area where the force is acting is much smaller than when a person lies down. Here, the area in contact is much larger. So even though the thrust is the same, if you remember thrust, so thrust is the same in both cases, but the difference is in the area. Here the area is less and here the area is more. So obviously when area is less, the pressure exerted will be more. Here the area is more, pressure exerted is less. So due to this difference in the area, this mattress is going inside, and whereas in this case the mattress is not getting so much of depressed. So it is the area which becomes very important if you have two forces of same magnitude acting. from here, let's see what are the units for pressure. So when you talk of thrust, then we just know that the unit is Newton. The unit for area is what? Meter square. The SI unit is meter square. So the unit of pressure, if you see thrust upon area, what it will become? Newton meter square. So the unit of pressure is Newton per meter square. Now this unit, Newton per meter square, is given a special name, Pascal. Pascal is also the name of a scientist. So we'll start with small p and the symbol for Pascal will be Pa. So suppose I have, or from here, what will I can say? I can say 1 Pascal is equal to 1 Newton meter square. Now suppose I have a thrust of 1 Newton and it is being exerted on an area of 1 meter square. Then what will be the pressure exerted? Well, the pressure exerted will be 1 Pascal. So do you think we can define Pascal using these two? Yes, we can. What can we say? We can say pressure exerted is 1 Pascal when a thrust of 1 Newton acts on a surface area of 1 meter square. You can even say that pressure exerted is 1 Pascal when a force of 1 Newton acts normally on a surface of 1 meter square. Basically, you can put up in some sentence of your own, but remember that 1 Pascal will be the pressure when there is a force acting normally on an surface area of 1 meter square. So instead of writing one whole thing, that force acting normally, we can simply say thrust of 1 Newton acting on a surface area of 1 meter square. So now from the expression, pressure is equal to thrust upon area, P is equal to F upon A. We can say that pressure depends on two factors. First, thrust, and we can see over here P is directly proportional to the thrust. More thrust, more is the pressure, and vice versa. Second, it depends upon the area of contact. That means over here you can see they are inversely related. So how will I write? P is inversely proportional to area. This implies more area, less pressure. So when I gave you the example of standing on a mattress, then you can very easily say that when you stand on the mattress depresses down because the area is less, so pressure is more. Similarly, when you lie down on the mattress, it doesn't depress so much, so more is the area, less is the pressure. Now, how is it effective in our daily life? See, it has a very important, this concept of pressure inversely proportional to area has a very important application in our daily life. Now see, you will find that wherever we want to reduce pressure, we reduce the area. Now see, if you have, now see, can you see this very clearly? These are shoes. This is a flat shoes and this is a pencil heel shoe. And let's, since boys don't wear pencil heels, let's say these are shoes of girls only. Now let them be the shoes of the same girl. Now if she is wearing shoes, I mean one's this and one's this, and she happens to walk on the sand, what do you think will happen? Well, it will be easier to walk on the sand with this kind of shoes rather than this. Why not? Because as soon as she walks on the sand or a loose mud with these kind of shoes, it will go down. Why will it go down? Area is less. Pressure will be more. See, the girl is the same. Over here, so the force, when a same person is wearing shoes, then remember the thrust is the same because the weight, thrust is dependent on the weight. So over here, what is there? More is the area. So what will happen? Area is more, pressure will be less. Here what is there? Area is less, so pressure will be more. So automatically these shoes will keep going down. And you know, what happens if she happens to step on a friend or someone, you know, in this case, in the person whom she steps on will shriek with pain. Why? Because pressure will be so large that that person will get hurt. And over here, I mean, in this case also the person will get hurt, but obviously area is more, so the pressure is going to be less. Have you seen animals, big animals around? I have a picture of one thing. You know, elephant, camels, they have very large feet. You must have seen. Now see, they are big animals. So their thrust is very large. So obviously their feet have to also to be large so that they don't sink inside. Otherwise the body will exert so much pressure on the ground that it will not be possible for them to walk. They'll keep sinking inside. Now we have other examples also. You all use school bags. Have you observed that in your school bags there are straps for your shoulders? Now why are they? See, school bags, when you have books, they will be exerting force on your shoulders and you will get hurt. So there are straps over there. That means the force is exerted on a wider area and the pressure exerted is less. So you get less hurt. I mean, you don't get pain for taking so much of luggage over here yourself. Similarly, you have must have heard that this knife is not cutting well. This has got blunt. Now what do you mean by blunt? There are two words that we use for a knife. One is sharp, another is blunt. Now see, knife has got an edge, right? Now this has to be sharp. Now when this is sharp, then the area is less. And when it is blunt, then area is more. Now, in this case, for same force, when you apply same force using a sharp knife and then a blunt knife, then the pressure exerted in this case will be more. So it will be easier to cut anything. And the pressure exerted in this case due to more area will be less. So it will become difficult to cut. There are plenty of other examples. Have you seen those railway lines? I'm sure you must have noticed. And you must have noticed that in between those long iron rails, there are wooden blocks laid down. At times it might be of steel, but generally wooden blocks are laid down. Now see, why are they laid down? So that the area over which the force is exerted becomes less. Similarly, have you noticed different vehicles? If you remember, the tires of your bicycles have very less area. Then you come to the scooter, the area increases. When it comes to car, the area still increases. And when you move on to vehicles like buses and trucks, they have even double tires. And as the weight of the vehicle increases, like a tractor or a tanker, you will find the wheels having much wider area. Now, why is this reason? The reason is that so that they can move smoothly on the road. If they don't have the wheels according to their weight, what is going to happen? They will exert a lot of pressure on the roads and they may move inside. They may damage the roads. So, and it will be very difficult anywhere to move when the roads are slightly loose or muddy. So, it is always preferable for them to have wider wheels so that the grounds can withstand the pressure exerted by them. So I hope with these examples you are quite clear with the fact that why it is important to consider the area in certain aspects. Even when you are laying down the foundations of the buildings, then the foundations they are much wider than the walls that you erect on them. Why? Because again they have to withstand that thrust on them. So to reduce the pressure, area is increased. More is the area, less is the pressure. So with this we'll end up the today's session, and in next class we'll focus ourselves on some numericals on it, and for the time being I will be giving you some questions to deal with your concept of the relation pressure is equal to thrust upon area.